Hello. Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to all the attendees and dignitaries present here. Am I audible? Yeah. It is our utmost pleasure to welcome everyone to this wonderful initiative started by WEEE Forum. Today it is known as International E-Waste Awareness Day, and it aims to highlight the growing issue of electronic waste and promote responsible e-waste management. So, as per the latest stats received from the CPCB portal for the year 2021 and 22, so e-waste generated was estimated at 16 lakh 1,155 tons. So, on this International E-Waste Awareness Day, Recommerce, we as an entity, we believe in engage, educate, exchange, empower, and enable. So, on this International E-Waste Day, Recommerce welcomes each and everyone to this wonderful initiative. What we are doing, a comprehensive awareness campaign under the theme defined by WEEE Forum. You can recycle anything with a plug, battery, or cable. So this theme underscores the significance of addressing invisible e-waste, those electronic items often overlooked in recycling efforts, because they aren't typically recognized as e-waste. While most people associate with discarded gadgets, devices, a substantial amount of electronic waste remains hidden in plain sight. So on this International E-Waste Awareness Day, we are collaborating with numerous colleges across India, and we are hosting this transformative live streaming program that will reach as many colleges as possible in all states. And during this 2.5 hour session, the industry experts who have already joined us will delve into the current e-waste management ecosystem, providing the youth of this country with invaluable insights. So with this, I would like to welcome the director and the CEO of Uradwa Management Recommerce, Mr. Venkatreddy Patil, to give the welcome address and the purpose of this webinar and why we are doing this. Sir, all to you.
Thank you, Amal. Good morning, distinguished guests. We have Honorable Director and Senior Scientist, G Electronics Materials and Components Division, Dr. Sandeep Chatterjee, sir. We have Sanjay Mehta, sir, the voice of Indian recycling. He is the pioneer in driving the recycling ecosystem in India today by bringing the entire ecosystem together under one association. So we welcome also Sanjay Mehta, sir, for this August gathering where we are trying to bring a warm awareness to all the students across India. We have close to about 150 plus college who have joined this awareness program, where they will be reaching the entire colleges will do a 3 days drive after creating this awareness program, and the local recyclers who are connected there will go and collect these materials, and the top 3 colleges will be rewarded with some rewards, and they will be given some certificates and honored and given a free access to our conferences and exhibitions, which will be taken under the banner of Recommerce across India in various forums. So that's the whole objective, is to bring the dynamics of behavioral change, which Honorable Prime Minister is very vocal about. We need a lot of behavioral change. The behavioral change comes by acting, by involving, by doing things ourselves. So that's the whole motto. And we also thank our sponsor for this event, Huladek, who are present pan-India for e-waste recycling and come forward to support this initiative. With this, we'll be having a good pool of speakers who are immersed and experienced in the e-waste industry. We will be having Sri P.K. Soni sir addressing you in some time. We will be having Amar Singh ji, the secretary for MRI, also be addressing the entire gathering. And we'll be having A.L.N. Rao sir, who is like expertise in talking and stealing the shows at every program. So he'll also be presenting the all audience. And to moderate with, we have our senior advisor and the consultant for e-waste, Dr. D.B. Prabhu sir, who will also be assisting us throughout all this program. So having said all these things, we look forward and to see how colleges can strengthen this initiative in terms of delivering actual deliverables, what we are looking from each of the colleges. We thank all the students for taking out time on a holiday, which is basically meant to be a biggest holiday in South India for sure, with an auspicious day, what it carries, and so many students joining, and still we anticipate few to join over the time. Thank you everyone for joining. From here, I welcome Dr. Sandeep Chatterjee to address you all as a first speaker for the session today.
Thank you, Venkat. This is my honor for speaking in Recommerce session after, I think, 3 years.
Yes.
We could not join physically many of your occurrences. You are doing a good job, I have seen. And ministry is also supporting you as the logo support.
Yes,
that is also carrying more value. Actually, this is a good forum where I should again mention that our country is transforming a very important economical transformation, and we are aspiring for $5 trillion economy, where one study says that $1 trillion will be the digital economy. So digital economy only possible with the devices, electronic devices, and our youth's innovation, startup ecosystem, entire ecosystem. But with this growth path, you will be continuously changing the device with a different functionality. Another thing we have seen for many years, or rather last 2 decades, it is very prominent that OEM are changing the device very fast. So they are in-building obsolescence. So that is also another issue, creating the huge, significant amount of electronic waste. So changing device cannot be stopped. But what you can see, that Venkat mentioned, that we should change our habit. We should see how long we can use those devices. And with the alarming rate, this value, initially someone has mentioned with the CPCB data, but one international data is saying in 2019 already we have generated 3.23 million metric ton of electronic waste in our country, and that is also enhancing 18% year on year. So if you see 3.23 million metric ton, where almost 1.7 million metric ton would be the ferrous metal steel, and almost 0.7 million metric tons would be your non-ferrous metal, where you have a gold, silver, copper, and other various precious metal. And there 0.7 million metric ton will be the plastics. So there also we have engineering plastics. So these are all resource material for our country. It is always better to recycle those material and initiate the in the production process we give back those material. So that is how for last 1 decade we have changed the narrative from e-waste management to circular economy. So we are talking about circular economy, where the design of the product should be such, so recycling and refurbishment should be easily done. So but if you must have seen that OEM are preparing those some of the tricks so that you cannot separate battery from the casing, or they are changing the component. You will not get different components or fixtures that are used in some version. After 2-3 years, those things cannot be replaced. So that is also creating a lot of problem. But if you see the waste stream, 2021, there is a data saying there are 3,000 tons of gold has been extracted, and 2% was going to the electronic products. So that means 300 tons golds are used in electronic products. And if you see, our market is 5.2% Indian market globally. So that is also around 17 tons of gold. So that means that end of life, we are having 17 tons of gold, and that is having $1.2 billion of worth. And if also you must have known that a smartphone manufacturing requires 69 different elements of the periodic table. So it is not only gold, there are many other rare earth materials. For the screen to function, you require 8 different rare earth elements. So those materials are resource material for the country, and some of the elements are not available in our country also. We are taking from outside. So these are all actually a possibility. The electronic waste is a possibility of generating the new business opportunity for our country. So I also feel that another next decade, it will be the waste management decade, and waste management sectors will give the maximum contribution of the GDP. To know this, the Niti Aayog 2021 has asked us 11 different ministries to come out with an action plan, where our ministry has done action plan for e-waste. There are various different actions have already been started. So ministries typically concentrating on the 3 vertical, creating skill manpower in this sector. We are creating awareness, and also we are trying to develop some indigenous technology so that local industry can be benefited out of it. So last month only, in month of July, we have handed over 18 different companies to lithium-ion battery technology. We have a lab, CMAT Hyderabad, where we have created a center of excellence, and this center of excellence is continuously augmenting whatever the different version of the technology already you have developed. So we have developed the PCB manufacturing, PCB recycling technology, lithium-ion battery recycling technology. We have developed the spent magnet extraction technology. We have developed the plastic, WEEE plastic extraction technology. And also we have developed the rare earth extraction from the phosphorus. And recently we have developed in the TRL level 3, the solar panel, different valuables from the solar panels. So these are all different repositories of technologies are available, and center of excellence are looking at creating startups. We are associated with IIT Hyderabad, where we are creating almost 50 startups have already created in these things. So entire ecosystem, along with the rules and regulation, which is another ministry is taking care of, that environment, forest and climate change, and CPCB is the regulator in our country. But we require to have the different infrastructure, skill, manpower, and adequate awareness. So in that verticals, ministry has been contributing for last almost 20 years, and we have our presence in this field has been recognized by PMO, Niti Aayog, MOEF. So now they are making, in the present rule, they are making that skilled manpower working in different recycling industry should have a certification from METI. So that is the they are trying to create, so that the extraction or the recycling should be done in a best resource efficient manner. So that you can have a robust ecosystem, so that we can have a better recycling technology and ensure the circular economy. Also, I should mention here, we have a scheme called SPECS, where 25% of the capital equipment are being subsidized who are engaged in the recycling technology. So these are some of the things we mentioned here. And I always love to speak on these subjects. And finally, I should again congratulate all the students joined here for International US Day, and always love to speak in the Recommerce Forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. We'll see if we have some questions, sir.
Yes.
Just a couple of questions. Ladies and gentlemen, we had Dr. Sandeep Chatterjee addressing you from Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. You have any questions to ask, please go ahead. And sir has to head to a couple of meetings, so we choose to answer a couple of them. So if you have any questions, kindly put it in the Q&A session.
Everything is understood.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your
Okay.
time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Venkat. Thank you.
Happy to host you time in the games.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving forward, we will invite our next speaker, Sri Sanjay Mehta ji. He's the president of Material Recycling Association of India, and Mr. Mehta also heads MTC Group, a 5 decades old business group employing more than 5,000 personals in this group. MTC Group has a business activities in dealing of ferrous and non-ferrous scrap, ferroalloys, iron ore, and coking coals, manufacturing of steel billets. The group is also not into automotive mobile dealership of Toyota cars. MTC Group is the largest ferrous procurement, processing, recycling, and steel manufacturing company in India, having various scrap yards across India, handling a very volume of 2 million tons of ferrous and non-ferrous metal scraps and ferroalloys. More than this, Sanjay Mehta sir has been largely a vocalist of bringing this entire ecosystem together and working tirelessly in building the largest association of India in terms of being there every time for the industry and the stakeholders. We are delighted to have you address the next future generation students who will be taking up this initiative, sir. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, organizers and everyone. Good morning. I would like to thank Recommerce to invite me to speak on this wonderful topic of 5 Rs and their role in e-waste management. And I would like to move with my PPT presentations. I will request my organizers, Recommerce organizers, to kindly put up my PPT here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, I'm playing.
Thank you very much. So moving forward with the let me introduce first my association, MRI, Material Recycling Association. Material Recycling Association of India is the apex national association of Bharat and represents the interest of the Indian recycle fraternity, trade and industry. MRI has over 1,400 members, which includes recyclers not only from Bharat but also from across the globe. At MRI, we cover a wide spectrum of materials such as ferrous, non-ferrous, e-waste, plastic, tire, rubber, ELV waste, construction and demolition waste, and glass. Next slide, please. Collectively, MRI represents over 20,000 small, medium, and large enterprises, directly and indirectly employing over 2.5 million people. MRI also works along with various ministries of Government of India from last 12 years, state governments, and hereby bridging the gap between the policy makers and recyclers. MRI works closely with the international and national associations all across the globe and all across the India. Being an interface between the ministries and recyclers, MRI always help in communicating the needs and problems faced by the recyclers to the ministries so as to help in formulating to the strategic and resourceful infrastructure for a proper waste management system. Next, please. Yeah. So let's go to the topic of introduction and the 5 Rs of the recycling of e-waste. MRI has become the world's, India has become the world's third largest generator of electronic e-waste after China and the USA, producing over 1.6 billion tons of e-waste in 2021-22 as per the data available from the Ministry of Electronics. Out of that, only about 500,000 tons of this e-waste were properly collected and processed. Increased electronic consumption has improved living standards, but has also led to a global e-waste crisis and the recycling systems. Two key solutions to the e-waste problems are transitioning to a circular economy and promoting digital sustainability. The goal of circular economy is to design and produce long-lasting products and minimize waste by promoting recycling in terms of environmental, social, and financial aspects. The goal of circular economy is to design and produce long-lasting products and minimize waste by promoting recycling. Next slide, please. Yeah. Understanding the 5 Rs. The 5 Rs: refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, and repurpose in e-waste are a set of principles aimed at promoting sustainable waste management. They represent a hierarchy of actions that individuals and organizations can take to minimize e-waste generations and environmental aspects. The role of the 5 Rs in sustainable e-waste management is to minimize the environmental and health hazards associated with the electronic waste. By refusing unnecessary electronics, reducing consumptions, reusing functioning devices, recycling responsibly, and repurposing components, individuals and organizations can collectively reduce the volume of e-waste, conserve valuable resources, and mitigate the adverse effects of improper e-waste disposal and policy. Additionally, these practices can promote a more sustainable and circular economy where resources are used efficiently and waste is minimized, whether it's any kind of waste or e-waste is minimized. Next slide, please. Let us see the role of 5R in this. First role of R is a refuse. Now let us delve a little deeper, and I will explain the first role of R, that is called refuse. Refusing is the first step is managing e-waste sustainably. It involves saying no to acquiring unnecessary electronics devices or gadgets. This can be achieved by critically evaluating whether a new electronic product is genuinely needed by us, considering the lifespan and the potential for obsolete of the product before purchasing. Opt for durable and repairable electronics rather than products designed for quick obsolete. Support companies that promote longevity and sustainability in their electronic products. Next slide, please. Let's understand the reduce. Reducing e-waste involves minimizing the number of electronic devices you own or use on day-to-day basis. It can be achieved through several practices such as extending the life of your electronics by maintaining and repairing them regularly. Opting for multifunctional devices that can perform several tasks, reducing the need for multiple gadgets. Donating or selling electronics that you no longer need, ensuring they are reused by someone else, also in our family or friend circle. Adopt digital minimization principles by evaluating which digital tools and devices are essential for your daily life and reducing unnecessary screening time. Next slide, please. Reuse is one of the most important functions of principle of R. Reusing is one of the most effective ways to reduce e-waste going forward. It involves finding new uses or homes for electronics that are still in working conditions. Donate your used electronics to the charities, schools, organizations that can benefit from them. Consider refurbishing and upgrading older devices to give them a second life. Participate in electronics swap or trade programs to exchange your old electronics for someone else. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Recycle slide, please. Yeah. Recycling is the responsible disposal of electronic e-waste that can waste no longer be reused or repaired. It is crucial to ensure that e-waste is recycled properly because electronics devices can often contain hazardous materials like lead, mercury, cadmium, and more than 50 metals are used in producing any kind of the electronic devices. Here is how to practice responsible recycling in our day-to-day life. Locate local e-waste recycling centers to drop off points where your electronics can be easily, safely, and legally recycled. Ensure that the recycling process is carried out by certified, verified, and environmentally responsible recycling facilities. Follow your regular local regulations and guidelines for e-waste recycling to ensure the proper disposal of all kinds of electronics, whatever we are using on day-to-day life in office or at home. Next slide, please. Fifth is repurpose. Repurposing is finding creative and innovative ways to use e-waste components and materials for new applications. This step extends the life cycle of electronic components and reduces the overall environmental impact the world over. Some ways to repurpose e-waste include, there are many ways. We have defined some ways like turning old electronics into DIY projects such as art installations, lamps, furniture, salvaging valuable components like hard drives, circuit boards, or cables for reuse in other projects. Participating in community initiatives or maker spaces that encourage the purposing of e-waste. Suggestions to promote e-waste recycling. To promote the 5 Rs in your community and advocate for responsible e-waste management practices, organize or participate in such kind of workshops, seminars, or awareness campaign to raise knowledge and awareness among all kinds of people around you. Work with certified e-waste recyclers who adhere to ethical and environmentally responsible recycling practices day to day. Encourage electronics manufacturing to design products with longevity, repairability, and recyclability in mind. Advocate for support government's policies and regulations that promote responsible e-waste management, including extended producer responsibility EPR programs, which has been introduced by the several ministries, as well as ministries of electronics has issued that minimum 35 to 40% of every producer has to be responsible to collect back and participate in the EPR programs. Support and participate in circular economy initiatives that aim to reduce waste, conserve resources, and promote the continuous use of materials. Stay updated on e-waste trends, technologies, and sustainable practices. Share your knowledge and experiences with others to encourage collection actions. This is from my side. Thank you very much, Recommerce, to invite me on this platform, and I'm very much delighted to participate in this such encouraging conference among these students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time and accepting our invite to be part. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are open for questions. Students, we would like to ask some questions. So you are in front of the right person who can answer all your questions. So you can feel free to ask your questions to that can be addressed. Amal, do we have any questions?
Please kindly put it in chat and QA for a question and answer session.
Sir, I have a question for you, sir. How do you manage, after managing such a big organization of yours, how do you manage this entire ecosystem?
It is a definitely passion. What it drives me day to day. Definitely, almost 5,000 people are working in my organizations, and it is my aim to establish such kind of associations. And definitely, I'm happy to drive such a responsible recycling system with the government. And definitely, MRA is a great body, and we are able to achieve several policies and with the government, and a lot of ecosystem has been created in last 12 years with the in India, and with any kind of metals, say ferrous, non-ferrous, e-waste, plastic, tires, and definitely government is also very much positive on this front. And because of the government very much positive response, we have encouraged to move forward with the full speed. And in last 9 years, everyone has seen the progress of the government, this active government, positive government, and very good ministries, very good bureaucrats like Sandeep Ji, director, very good support systems is available from all across the ministries. Whatever problems we faced, definitely every ministry is very well supporting. So that definitely that drives very much positive environment among us. So that is creating a good impact and good environment to work hard for the trade and industry. Thank you.
Sir, also, what is the future scope for the students? Sir? The industry is said to be equal or more bigger than a mining industry in coming days. So what is the message for the students you want to pass?
Absolutely. Recycling is going to be the very big business opportunities for everyone. And this is my, you can say, 39th year of business in my these organizations. At the age of 15, I joined my organizations. And I've seen immense progress in the last 10, 15 years, 10, 12 years of India. And India is going to be the main global economy drivers among the world. And next 20 years, 25 years, India is going to give you best results, and recycling is going to give you best of the best profits, best of the best, immense satisfactions, immense opportunities are available for everyone. Any field you choose it, e-waste is definitely a very great field, because we are hardly recycling e-waste. There are more policies are going to come, and it is going to be a great business. Many foreign companies are participating in India. Many foreign investments are coming into India. Everything above the mine is going to be recycled now. Below the mine is going to be finished. Below the earth is going to be finished in next 20-25 years. So we have to leave after 25-30 years on the basis of recycling of the materials only. So we have started our journey in last 5-10 years with positive impact and positive policies of the government, and I see very great future ahead. And definitely MRAI office and we all members of the industry definitely support the new generations to participate in this definitely recycling industry. Evenly ministries, Niti Aayog or every ministry is definitely encouraging new entrepreneur into the recycling system. They want that new entrepreneurs should come in and they participate in this drive. So definitely it is going to be positive future for everyone in this field. Definitely.
Sir, we have a question from a student, sir. How is e-waste management in India going and can be leader in the waste management? So basically he wants to ask, how can India be a leader in e-waste management in the globe?
Definitely, EPR is one kind of a tool which has government has introduced, and it is going to create a responsible recycling system in India. Every producer is going to be the responsible for collect back the electronic waste, whatever electronics they are selling in India, and they have to collect it back and recycle it. So it is going to be definitely great move to participate in the e-waste business. It is going to definitely give best results in the future. And still, we are hardly doing 20% of recycling. It is definitely, we have a long way to go. And very large scope is there in India. And India is definitely, more and more good policies are going to come from the government side. So definitely it has a good future to participate in e-waste business or e-waste program is going to go a long way in India.
So how students can join with the association is what they are asking.
Definitely. We can definitely promote students to join many recyclers across the country, and whatever we can make some kind of systems that they will get some kind of good jobs in this definitely recycling companies. They can learn whatever they want to learn, how to do the business, how to recycle e-waste, and then they can practice on their own in the future. Definitely, MRA can help them out. I can only assure you that MRA will be able to help them out to get the required positions in any kind of recycling company. They need good brains. Every recycling company needs good brains. Even my company, MTC, also definitely in the market for a good kind of a people. Every company requires good people. Definitely, it has immense scope for the future. And through MRI, definitely you can join any kind of any grade of any spectrum of materials of recycling, any spectrum, wherever they are interested. We will help them out.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. Thank you for making it, and thank you for addressing the entire August gathering. And number of students, and a lot of colleges are live streaming this. 100, 200 students they have put up in an auditorium and they're live streaming this. So there's a lot of
one message, they can definitely join MREI. We will make some kind of system that they are connected to MREI office, and on day-to-day basis they will be updated what's going on, and MREI association is definitely available to help them out to get the proper desired speed in any kind of recycling company that I can assure you from your platform. Thank you very much, Mr.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure having you, sir. And we keep meeting you. We keep hearing from you again and again. And it's good to learn every time there's a new thing to learn from. Thank you, sir. Thanks for that. So before we go to the next session, I request Shri DB Prabhu, sir, to lead the panel. The next panel is going to be addressed by Amar Singh Ji, Secretary General of Material Recycling Association of India, the man who is working 24/7 in the office all the time with the ecosystem recyclers building. He's been serving this association since 11 years tirelessly, and still he has the same hunger to serve today. Every day he comes up with great zeal to serve. We have been learning from him a lot and is one of the great admirations, and it's very important that we have today to address the next generation, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being part of this. And we have Shri.
Thank you so much, Mr. Venkat.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for
the
introduction.
Yes, sir. We have Shri BK Soni, sir. BK Soni, sir, is the most youngest recycler in India, I can say. E-waste recycler.
So nice of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for these compliments.
You are there with Recommerce in our journey, and any youngster who comes to you, you've always been supporting, encouraging. Your initiatives have been very wonderful in driving a lot of your latest initiative. The recycling on wheels has got a significant traction in India, and also it's spoken about outside India. And you've been the director now also as in MRII, and many of your initiatives have been very vocal, sir. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And we have Shri A.L.N. Rao, sir. Rao, sir, is the show master. If he speaks, the entire audience listens. So we have a great opportunity to hear from A.L.N. Rao, sir. He is the CEO of Exigo Recycling. He is also working on initiatives on battery, e-waste, and solar recycling. And he's also playing a prominent role with all the associations, being MRAI, MATE, all of them, and driving the entire ecosystem for a betterment of all of us.
Venkatji, I can proudly say both Mr. Soni and Mr. Rao are the directors of MRAI and are representing e-waste industry in a better way at our platform. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Over to you, Prabhu, sir. Prabhu, sir, is the senior most advisor for Recommerce. He stood by us. He's guided us in terms of driving the ecosystem. Whatever we are able to do, it's a significant role of his place. He is also the consultant for e-waste recycling fraternity and founder of Respose India. We have been guided in all our initiatives, and thank you for always being here, sir. And I request you to take forward the panel. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for the kind introduction for all the eminent panelists. So students, we have the best of brains in e-waste in the panel today. Like Mr. Venkat has already introduced, Mr. BK Soni as the youngest person. I would say I generally look at him as, as the Vishwamitra of the recycling, e-waste recycling space, because Vishwamitra created a different universe, and Mr. Soni started this industry way back when it didn't even exist, right? So that is the level of expertise we have just now on this panel. And Mr. A.L.N. Rao, I have no words to speak about him, because every time I listen to him, I'm sure that I carry something very, very new and very, very exciting with me. So thank you, sir, for always enlightening us in every possible way. And of course, Mr. Amar Singh is already there from Emaria. Emaria has been doing some wonderful things in this sector. So I would suggest that can you say, Mr. Amar Singh, can you just highlight what exactly Emaria does for the e-waste industry? Considering that we have a lot of students over here in this space, let us just give them a guideline as to what is happening in the e-waste space and what Emaria does, and how we can enable this student community to come forward and help in going forward in growing this e-waste industry. So, Mr. Amar Singh ji.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Am I audible?
Yes, very much.
Yeah. So the journey started in 2011. MRAI was known as Metals Recycling Association of India. So our journey started with metals, but gradually when we were interacting with various government offices, Niti Aayog requested to change the name from Metals to Materials Recycling Association of India in 2016. And then at that time, MRAI broadened its horizons and included e-waste, plastic, paper, textile, construction demolition waste, and other waste stream into our regime. Currently, what MRAI is doing for e-waste industry is MRAI is promoting formal recycling of e-waste in the country. See, as you all are aware, recycling is happening at all the places, but there is one formal structure and there is one informal structure. Informal structure, as we all are aware, our laptops, our mobiles, our other devices, electronic devices are taken by informal people in the economy. They take it, they don't do recycling in a proper way. They pollute our environment, they pollute our rivers, they use acids and other sorts of methods which are very polluting and very harmful for the generations. So MRAI is not promoting informal recycling in the country. What MRAI is promoting is the formal system, wherein the formal players, the recycler, collect your e-waste items and they process it in an environment-friendly way. So they will take your laptops, your electronic gadgets, your e-waste items. They will process it in their plants, factories, so that there is no harmful emissions of any kind of gases, harmful emissions of any kind of toxics in the environment. Second, what MRAI is doing is promoting EPR regulations, EPR guidelines in the country. So what is EPR? I think Mr. Rao will be able to shed more light on this. But what, as MRAI, what we understand is extended producer's responsibility. So whosoever is producing any electronic item, it is their responsibility to recycle that product. So MRAI is working very closely with Ministry of Information Technology, Ministry of Environment Forest for promoting EPR in the country. What MRAI is also doing through various of its members is to promote reduction and reuse of waste. So how you can reduce e-waste? You use your electronics more and more. You get your electronics repaired, because now it is everyone's right to get your electronics repaired, and use it to its maximum so that the waste generation is reduced. In India, at present, 33% of our e-waste is processed or recycled. I can say this is the data, and another 67% of e-waste remains unprocessed. Why it is unprocessed? The biggest thing is we don't have the habit of taking out our waste. At our homes, we see lots of e-waste like laptop, your iPads, your headsets, your mobile phones, all are lying in our drawers. We don't find any good recycler to give away those e-waste. So the best thing is join hands with MRAI. You can get in touch with MRAI. MRAI and its members like Mr. Soni, Mr. Rao, Mr. Ashok Kumar, they all are into formal e-waste recycling. They can help us in collecting your scrap which is lying at your home or in your schools or in your society. We can get it collected and we can get it processed in a proper way. Students can really play an important role with MREI. They can promote e-waste recycling. They can create awareness among others who are not the part of this webinar. They can spread this message that e-waste is a crucial part of the sustainability, and if e-waste is not done, is not recycled or not processed in a proper way, it can cause lots of health hazards and harm to the people possessing it. So I request all the students to create awareness and try to recycle more and more of your e-waste. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the elaborate answer, sir. And you also made my life easier by putting the questions to Mr. Alen Rao about EPR. But I'll come to that question a little later because I think it's slightly advanced at this junction. Before that, Mr. Bika Soni sir, actually, you have been in the industry for the longest period of time. In fact, you are the one who started this industry. So what all have you seen happen in this industry over the last 20 odd years, 50 plus years probably? What are the good things and not so good things that have happened from the e-waste industry perspective in India? And where do you think this industry is going further? Can you please elaborate? Soni sir?
Soni sir, you're.
Soni sir, are you there? No, sir, I think you are muted. You are answering the question. I think you are muted. All right. Anyways, we'll come back to that question a little later. In the meantime, Alen Rao, sir, you have also been in the industry for quite some time. So what do you think are the challenges that e-waste industry is facing today? And how is EPR relevant for the e-waste industry? Can you just highlight that? And probably you can also give us some kind of direction as to where the EPR regime is heading. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Venkat, for this opportunity. Before answering this question, I really love talking to students across the country, internationally also. Let me just take 2-3 minutes speaking my mind out to all the children. I am from at different ages. I see outside small babies, for them to give food. People keep mobile phone and play one video, play one cartoon. In fact, currently it's happening now. Small children, anytime, even having food, phone is next, and eating, watching something. Slightly adults, their children grown up, Instagram and Insta Reel, and I don't know, there are so many things out there. Every child says, Papa, new phone, Papa, new game, Papa, new one has come, Papa, new home theater, new watch has come, smart watch. You know, you can walk and you can talk and you can watch and you can see everything. So many things are there. So children keep asking a lot of things. Electronics is advancing very rapidly. Digital age is here. We never imagined in our video, in a phone, we can see video of somebody else in another side anywhere in the world and we can talk to them instantly. Very good. These are all very, very good advancements. It is all people who have been children at one time, who had the passion to come out with something, invent, discover, innovate, and come out with solutions like this. And I hope that children, all of you people who are watching, who are participating in this program also have got all that brains to come out with something new. But there are a lot of experts who are talking a lot of things. I am a graduate now. After graduation, what? What do I do? I go to advanced studies or I go for a job. And wherever I go for a job, there are 5,000 people, 500 people standing in queue for the same job. How do I get good jobs? What do I do for creating a good job for my country? That's the question. So I'll tell you, connected with this, what the government of India is doing. Let me say, compare it to China, for example, 15, 20 years back. What China said worldwide to everybody, they said, whatever is your e-waste out there, you please send it to me, I will recycle. Every country who had manufacturing, who had so many jobs, who were giving to their students who were coming out from college, all the manufacturing units started getting reduced and all the e-waste was being sent to China. Now, what did China do? They created manufacturing using the same metals and material from the used electronics through recycling, through refining. They created new products and sold back the same thing to us, to every country. So what happened is that recycling is nothing but urban mining. All the material, the metals, the brass, copper, aluminium, tin, lead, zinc, gold, silver, palladium, platinum. There's so many metals, precious metals, rare earth metals in it, where they started taking it and they started giving it in different qualities and they started selling it to all the countries. They became a manufacturing country, lots of employment opportunities there. We lost out the opportunities for employment. Every country lost out. Now things have changed. India is come back saying that we want to give a lot of employment opportunities for all our children who are graduating. For that, we need to start manufacturing. But for manufacturing, you need metals. You can do mining. You can only get so much. But urban mining from electronics is recycling, refining. Can we do that? So a lot of new ideas required. So India is promoting this urban mining in a very big way, thereby increasing the manufacturing, increasing the recycling, ensuring the commodities are used back in the manufacturing process, thereby giving employment opportunities. And other speakers, Dr. Sandeep said, Dr. Sanjay Mehta said also that students have got a lot of initiatives, good skill sets, good ideas. So this is an opportunity for all students out there to come out with innovation. There are so many startup opportunities, startup funds. Government is promoting, IITs are promoting, so many private players are promoting. So I encourage all you children to come out with your ideas, participate in various events, and become either an entrepreneur or become an employee, join in the recycling industry, and bring a name for yourself and support your parents all and your family also. So I think recycling has got a very important opportunity for not only saving the environment, saving the country, increasing manufacturing, giving employment opportunities or entrepreneurial opportunities, and as a community, we all grow in the country in a very, very big way. So I think this is the opportunity that is there. And that is why the government has come out with rules saying polluter pays principle was the concept. Anybody who's polluting, he is responsible for ensuring that the material, whichever they have sold, placed in the market, is collected and is recycled in an environment friendly way. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it is a good opportunity. I request the administrators of all these colleges to come out with various programs that helps children understand more about the waste management of e-waste or batteries or plastic or tires or oil or solar, anything. There are multiple verticals out there. And the government is giving in a lot of opportunities to national universities to create labs, e-waste labs, and educate the formal and informal sector and the students hands-on in electronic dismantling, segregation, and about e-waste also. So you can also participate in such programs and avail those opportunities. So I hope, sir, I was able to give an answer in a different way, but something which the children will be able to understand better.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. It was a very different perspective, and I think it was very important from the perspective, from the point that the audience is more of students, and they are looking at us for a guideline as to where e-waste is moving and what is it for them as far as this industry is concerned. Right. So, like you said, I think there are a lot of opportunities. So let me come back to Mr. B.K. Soni, sir. Soni, sir, you started this e-waste industry almost about 20 plus years back. You have lots of challenges, and but going forward, things have changed. So my question earlier was, what are the good things and what not so good that have happened, and what bearing would it have on the current students who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs in the e-waste industry? What would be your advice for them?
Super, Mr. Prabhu. Thank you so much. But before I avail of the opportunity of speaking, I must thank Recommerce team and particularly Venkat for organizing this wonderful conference webinar with 350 plus attendees. This is one of the very successful one. And secondly, I must thank Sanjay Bhai and Rao Saab for giving a very, very complete picture, to be very honest, about the sides of the e-waste management industry and what is the roadmap. This is a wonderful thing what Sanjay Bhai has presented, and that is what is expected from the president level at the highest level, that he has to give the roadmap to us, which he has probably given us completely. And Rao Saab has also given us the roadmap and the roadmap for the students. Now, I will only touch base on the what is pending to be done. I will touch base on that. And Mr. Prabhu, you are smiling, I know, because you know my nature. You know, I talk very differently about. So, what is pending? The pending is willingness. The pending is integration. See, we all know that domain expertise is of the informal sector. How do we enhance or upskill them and integrate into the system? It need not necessarily be that everyone has to come from the outside the informal sector and start the recycling industry. The expertise what these guys possess is equally important to be availed of. If we want to see the complete change, that is one thing I would say. And secondly, I would say willingness to invest in the technologies and willingness to invest in the infrastructure. Until unless we don't do all these three things together, transformation will be little tougher. Involving students at every juncture it is possible, including right from their own flat or house or shop of their parents or whatever the offices they are working, they can spread the message in that particular vicinity itself. And probably a group of students can join together and start collecting the waste and give it to the nearby recycler or depositing in the e-waste bins or e-waste collection center. So this is an active role which they can play. Thereby what will happen, they will understand the importance and they will get the edge over others who are still looking at from distance. And these guys can become very much an enterprise by themselves. A group of people, a cooperative system can be developed among them or they can do it in the school itself, colleges and institutions, wherever they are working or studying. So they can start with that, and that will give them feel about the opportunity, what is there before them. These are the three things which I will at this point of time submit. Otherwise, Mr. Rao and Sanjay Bhai has already extensively covered and given us a very, very promising roadmap for the success of the e-waste management industry, which is really, really very humongous. And nothing has been really tapped to that extent. What can make us very big? In global market, when we see hundreds of thousands of tonnage facilities are being set up, we are still setting up the facilities for 5, 10, 20,000, 50,000 kind of. And I do not know how much we are really getting there. But the question still remains why we are unable to set up 100,000 metric ton facility in India when the opportunity is of more than 3 million to 4 million presently, and going forward is probably $7 to $8 million kind of tonnage with a value of nearly about $10 billion going forward. It's a humongous opportunity of 80,000 crore in 5 years. We must step in very aggressively, invest it very aggressively in technologies which takes care of the environment and ecology. Not the technology from the different point of view. It's not a shredder alone, but a lot of other things which protects the environment and ecology and social canvas. We must take care. Thank you so much, Mr. Prabhu.
Just a follow-up question on that. In your answer, you mentioned that informal sector is very strong and we need to work with them. So how do you think that is possible, and what would you say, especially to students, about the informal sector, its effects on climate change, informal practices rather, the effects of informal practices on climate change, and whether climate change is something that they should be really, really concerned about?
So, these are very heavy words for the informal sector and for the students at this point of time. What is our purpose should be that if they are not doing the things properly, if they are burning cables or leaching in acid, they should not do such kind of things. Is more than enough to upskill them. If you will talk about the heavy words like sustainability, Atmanirbhar Bharat, circular economy, even the students may be confused and the informal sector will get greater confusion. We should only probably talk about what is applicable in their knowledge set, which they can absorb and change, will be my suggestion. It's not an easy journey to transform because they are an entrepreneurs by themselves. They are very learned as far as their domain is concerned, as far as their activity is concerned, right from the point of evaluation to packaging, to transport, to dismantle, to leaching, to burning, everything they know very careful, very much. I don't think that I can educate them on any front. I can learn from them a lot, but we can talk about 3 words: health, safety, and environment. These are the 3 things what we need to really cultivate amongst the student, and they can go and talk about with the informal sector in their neighborhood.
Thank you very much, sir. There was a question in some time back in the Q&A about what are the opportunities for students. So Amar Singh ji, sir, you have not only India view but a global view of what is happening across the recycling space, not only in e-waste but in all other types of materials as well. So can you just highlight to students what kind of opportunities exist for students who are interested in looking at materials recycling per se, and especially in e-waste? Amar Singh ji, over to you.
I will not talk as a business point of view for the students, but the role what they can play is they can promote recycling in the country. They can promote recycling's awareness in the country. What is happening nowadays, recycling is being talked on a very wider forum. But if you talk to anyone in general, that what will from where this mobile has come, or from where this TMT bar has come, or from where this doors, hinges, or your bathroom items have come, no one is aware about it. Just for your information, whatever ferrous metals are produced in India, out of that 55% is through, whatever steel is produced in India is 55% is through recycling route. All your automobiles having your engine castings, brakes, all this is made through aluminum, recycled aluminum. All your bathroom fittings like your taps, your shower jets, all the things are made through recycled brass. Apple have started using recycled aluminum in their mobiles. Many hospital equipments, many radiation detection equipments, many other equipments. Even we came to know that our Vande Bharat train and even Chandrayaan 3 used little bit amount of recycled metals. So there is a notion in the mind of a common people or students that recycled materials are not very good while using. I just want to pass on this message that we make equally good material, and we use the same standard what others or what the other people use in their production process. My only and only thought and my only and only urge to student is that they should promote recycled material and products which have minimum recycled content. Any product you see, if you see there is some recycling content in it, please promote it within your family, within your friends, within your neighborhood, so that recycling can be promoted at a very large scale. Also, it can come into common man's mind. This is my urge, and this is my willingness from all the students that they participate and promote recycling in the country.
Thank you very much, sir. So coming back to Rao sir, just now Amar Singh ji said that students should try and increase awareness among the common people and also promote the use of recycled products. Would you have any guidelines or any tips as to how exactly can a student do this? As to how can he go and try and educate the common people about what to do with the e-waste, and ensure that just people do the right thing and not just give their waste to the local kabadi wala. So how do you think exactly student, what role should they play and what exactly should they do? Can you give a guideline, please?
Yeah, that is a good point. I think every parent is struggling to answer this question. So, every parent is having a problem. Something new model introduced in the TV, the child will come and say, "Papa, I want that model. Only 1 year back we bought this product. Papa, that is old. My friends have got new product. See, new model has come. I want that model." This is this generation. That's how they are. Earlier, there used to be something where we used to say we will use it to the maximum and then we will buy a new one. But now, because of peer pressure, because of friend circle, something new comes in, we say, I need to get that. I will ask my kitty, what is there in my kitty? Let me see. Or I will ask my father, mother, some excuse, something I will make and I will try to get that one. Good. I think you need to be there. But also understand, every time something which has got life and you're not using it to the full life, we are wasting our money. We are wasting our parents' money. We are also spoiling the environment by contributing for disposal of that unit faster. If you, each individual, including me, including you, including everybody, everything, if we use it to the maximum life, it will do a lot of good for each one of us. It needs discipline. It really needs a lot of character. It is okay, if I have a model, there's so many new models in mobile phones which keeps coming every 6 months, and some with 1 camera, 2 camera, 3 cameras, 5 cameras. I don't know, back cover fully cameras only will come now going forward. So it is okay. I know that that new generation would like to take a selfie and post it on social media just like that, have the best of pictures and whatnot. But still, the idea is that how do we contribute as a good citizen, as a human being, and I as an individual for my family and for myself and my country by using it to the fullest. If there is any repair or anything comes in, ensure that it is repaired and can be used. It is not that if it is repaired, then we need to throw it and buy a new one. We can always repair it and use it to the fullest and then go for a new item. In that way, what we are doing as a student, as a child, as an individual, we are not encouraging more digital gadgets to be purchased more and more and flood our homes in our personal lives. So that is one thing that we as human being we need to do. Very important. And second, the idea is that also with reference to inculcating these habits, I believe that educational institutions plays a very, very important part, and they need to inculcate these habits too. And this can be done not just by theory, but creating that sort of a society, creating that sort of a environment in encouraging students who are able to repair, who's able to extend life. And three, last but not the least, for you to develop your own skill sets as student, try repairing products. Try. You have thought that you want to dispose it of, fair enough. Try repairing it, seeing it. Use your entrepreneur skills. 1 out of 100 will become an entrepreneur in that particular segment. It could be anything for that matter. It's a good opportunity. Why to lose the opportunity? And 4, now, is there any workshops that can be conducted for encouraging such repairs? Ask questions. Find out. There are various organizations out there who encourage such sort of things. There are new rules coming in for repairs now. And next year it will be implemented in a big way. You will all be, benefited by that. And if you are given toolkits, if you are given spare parts, then try. It's good to be an expert in something that you can repair. It can be a cycle, it can be a car, it can be a two-wheeler, it can be a radio, it can be a mobile phone, it can be a TV, it can be anything for that matter. But develop one skill set. Schools, colleges always say learn one foreign language. I will say learn one skill set for repairing something in your house. It will add a lot of good. Thank you.
That's the last one is a real killer, I would say, because there is I've gone through it myself, and like in our generation, everybody has done some kind of repair or something, and there is an immense amount of satisfaction and a sense of pride when it comes to repairs. And if you are able to really repair something which was not working and you show off to your friends, it used to be a phenomenal thing in our days. I don't know how it is today, because today generally people tend to change it. So that brings me to an interesting result of a poll that we had over here. So I'll just publish that result over here. So in the meantime, if somebody, whoever are there, and if they want to just answer this poll, the question number 3 of the poll is, when you buy any electronic device, which of the following is the most common scenario for you? And the answers were 1, I didn't have it earlier, so I am buying a new one. Option 2 was replacing an older one but working device. And option 3 was I was replacing an older but non-working device. So that was the question. So those who have not answered, kindly answer that poll if possible. And in the next 30 seconds, I'll publish this result on the screen. So that's so that's just related to what we just talked about. So next 30 seconds, I'll publish this poll. Apart from that, there is one more poll, and if somebody wants to answer that, that is also question number 4 is there in the polls. As a user of electronic devices, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to discarding it? So the answers are: pickup services are not very well organized. We do not know where to give for proper recycling. We do not get good value from recyclers. Recyclers are not willing to pick up small items like calculators and chargers. And we are concerned about the security of the data on that device. Okay, so whoever can, please answer this poll as well. So we have received about 25 votes so far on the question number 4, and that's increasing. And on question number, let me go to question 3.
Prabhuji, there are some questions in the chat box. Can we answer that?
Yes, sir. Before that, sir, I wanted to interrupt. Sorry, sir. BK Soni, sir, and Alan, sir. Can you highlight the importance of using refurbished products? Sir? This is another community which we have to address, please. The importance of using refurbished products. India is, see, the PC market in India is equally penetrating compared to the new PCs sold. So why is it important? Because I find so 5th generation, if I'm buying a new PC and the cost is almost 50% difference. So if you can throw some light, it will be very good for students who are a lot of PC users.
Would you mind to just repeat, Venkat? I could not hear you in the first.
So the importance of using refurbished products, sir, like especially in the PC segment. So that's
fair enough. So of course, in Indian market, in any case, Venkat, you know better than me that there are several layers of economies. Okay, nothing really goes into the landfill till it is not exhaustively used. We are not selling it, or we are not throwing into the dustbin for sure. That everybody will agree to with me. Not even a pen drive or mouse or keyboard, we are not throwing it till it is a useful one. And when we are exchanging or giving it to even informal or formal sector also, they are also taking care of that. If there is an oxygen, it's not an ICCU patient. As simple as that. So it need not to be taken to the morgue. So it not to be taken to the recycling center, but it can be replaced in the market, and which is available far cheaper to students and the call centers and the even smaller MSMEs and all. And these are being used. Refurbished market is very high in India, and Mr. Rao will probably confirm that from his experience also of more than 2 decades that yes, refurbished market is too high. And generally speaking, nobody throws a working device or working component. This is what my experience also speaks about.
No, sir. Now we have certified.
Earlier, what we used to do is that buying power. Today we have a buying power, therefore we are replacing. Earlier, we did not have a buying power of that magnitude, therefore we are going for the repairing. Now also it is happening, but may not be at the first user, maybe at the second user end, maybe at the third user's end.
Yes. Now, the refurbishing community, it's a predominant area in the entire recycling ecosystem, especially in e-waste. The secondary car market is very much organized, but here we are getting now organized in terms of being a companies, a lot of certified companies, certified products which are coming out. So there is a significant importance in terms of we can't say we shouldn't use the the first set of products because it demands some types of jobs, but larger types of jobs which for our basic needs, for what I understand as i5 5th generation, this is more than enough for doing what we are doing today on a regular basis. So these kind of PCs, rather than going for a newer version, students can always buy from the refurbishing community to strengthen them in terms of investing themselves back into repair and getting into L3, L4, L5 kind of repairs is what.
So Venkat, I must congratulate you for starting the Recommerce only with that particular intention of yours. And that is where the refurbishment has really taken a very good steps by many organizations today. Okay. And on the lines of the car, what you are talking about, a refurbished car and reselling the old refurbished car, the same thing will happen in electronic devices also, and is happening, boss. May not be completely organized one, but it is certainly happening. Nobody throws any working device, believe my words. This is what my experience speaks about.
Yes.
Yeah, Venkat, good question. Who says something is being wasted in a country? Nothing gets wasted in a country,
That is
right? In my house, newspaper, I will ask that guy 10 rupees a kg, then you will give you. In my house, old bed sheets that we use, that bed sheets, then we give it off to somebody, maybe a laundry guy. What the laundry guy will do, he will tear it into half. He will take our own clothes inside that and tie it up, and then he'll go for ironing and bring it back. After that, that gets torn. What he does, he cuts it off and sends it to the car cleaning or two-wheeler cleaning guys. They will use it. So there is nothing that goes waste in our country. Now, electronics, again, is the same. Mobile phone, laptops, TVs, refrigerators, washing machines, air conditioners, everything gets repaired and somebody else buys it. Let me ask this question another way. I go to, in South India, let us say Giriyas or Vivek's or Pai or Vasant & Co. or anybody, any retail, Chroma, Vijay Sales, Reliance, I go. I see two laptops, same, say, Dell brand, same model, similar model number, same configuration specifications. One is at around 30,000 rupees, new one. The second one next to kept is refurbished, repaired, refurbished one, 15,000 rupees. 1 year warranty somebody is giving. How many people will say that we will buy the refurbished one? Right? The parents will say, let's buy that one because it's the same, there's nothing different. The children will say, old one, we'll buy new one. Now, we need to inculcate that. Now, let me say the other way. I am Dell company. I am giving you new product. I am giving you with 1 year, 2 year warranty of the repaired unit. Will you believe the brand Dell? Yes, you will believe. And then you will buy the Dell refurbished product. Let's say earlier 1 out of 20 will buy. When Dell gives in that warranty themselves, then 5 out of 20 will buy. And somebody is able to give transparency in the repairs that is being done and give the confidence to the user or purchaser. You don't worry. You have a problem, you give me, I will give you a new unit. I am sure every student will say, chalo yaar, let me buy this one, 6 months, again give it, take a new one, again 6 months, give a new one. It's a leasing model concept, but for refurbished units. It is the models of business that is more important to encourage users to purchase refurbished repair products and use them and extend the life of the products in a big way. That is on the business side of things. But on the user side of things, especially the younger generation, the younger generation students needs to ask this question that, can this be repaired? Can we repair it? Can we use it for another 6 months' time, 1 year? Who is going to repair? Who is going to give me that satisfaction, confidence, warranty, trust, transparency that yes, nothing will happen to this phone or any gadget in the next 6 months, 1 year? The more the questions the younger generation asks, the more the answers the society will start giving in. So these are the fundamental differences that exist between from a business model and a psyche of the younger generation per se.
From the psyche part, sir, there is one more aspect of an aspirational value of a new thing, new device. Everybody aspires to have go one step further in life, but the definition of aspiration, if it change from you progress with a new device versus you progress with a greener device, if that definition is changed, I think that also will play a very big role.
Sir, aspiration you cannot control. The next generation is hungry. They want latest. They want to be the best. They want to move forward aggressively. They should be in that psyche only. They should think in that direction only. We should encourage them. However, the idea here is that it depends upon the society. It depends upon the affluent parts of the society. And each one has got certain budgets which they will be able to afford to buy products. So it is if the confidence is given to the society, that strata of the society, that don't worry, this is all that can be given to you and we are there to support you, anything happens to the product, encouraging them to buy more refurbished products will automatically start. And parents also will start accepting that, yes, something alternative is available, it can be tried, tested. So we need to get into a model where a push is given to the refurbished industry. It's a $20 billion industry in India currently. So there's so much happening already, but the visibility is not there across the strata of society, which we need to do, and which I think Venkat and the team are trying to do a good job on that particular aspect. Yes, long way to go, small efforts being done. Even the government of India is encouraging refurbishing now. You will see in another 6 to 9 months' time, standards for refurbishing will come. Repair workshops will be conducted. Repair centers will be developed. Skill development on repairs will start. Schools and colleges will be supported for such repairs to be done on multiple electronic gadgets. Funding will be given to a lot of people for writing educational content, and funding will be done for putting out videos for repairs of multiple items on the ministry's website. All these things are going to happen in the next 6, 9, 12 months' time. So it is a very interesting time. That is why earlier I said, children, kids, young generation, ask the question, get your hands dirty, get into the repairs, learn it. If it dies, throw it, no problem, but try, give it a best and see what you can do, and ask questions, ask support from various strata of society. I'm sure 1 out of 20 will be successful in coming out with something new for that matter. Yeah.
Sir, Amar Singh sir left, sir. He had an urgent meeting to attend further. So there are poll questions and questions to be addressed, Prabhu sir. Like I think you can read. Yeah, VK Soni sir want to say something.
Okay. Sometimes we ignore the beauty of our country, believe me. That the kind of reverse logistic network and the payment is being made by every single collector for anything which they purchase. They pay money and they collect these items and certainly either recycle or refurbish, and it goes into the market. There is no doubt about that. That's one of the most beautiful things we have. Secondly, you must have also noted that a lot of computers and laptops particularly are coming every day in our country. So we are using them as a refurbished one. In other countries, in the developed nations, they are throwing these items at a nominal price. So we already have that matured place in India where these are getting consumed. So refurbished market is certainly in existence and is growing. But as Mr. Rao mentioned about, a lot of formalization is to be done in terms of training institute, in terms of the tools to be provided, in terms of the videos to be given and all. Certainly formalization of the segment is certainly needed, but it's not missing. We have to formalize that. Secondly, from the EPR point of view, I believe we have spoken in the beginning. Sanjay Bhai had talked about, I have one submission only, that EPR should go along with the EPR. That is extended producer's responsibility with environment protection responsibility should be the driver. It should not be only for the sake of only quantum. We must, because we are the custodian of the environment from as far as the e-waste is concerned, we must be careful that what we do in our processes, maybe we are doing a nominal business, but we should do it very effectively, very nicely, very rightly, very scientifically. Otherwise, there will not be difference between Mr. Soni and Mr. Salim Bhai, to be honest with you. So EPR has to go along with the EPR.
Well, thank you very much, sir. So coming back to our main discussion, I think there was these polls that I talked about, and there are some results that we would like to publish for everyone to see. Amal, is it possible to publish the results for everyone to see?
Sure, sir, I can do that.
Question number 3 and 4.
Okay, sir. So if you can go to poll section, so we can see the results.
I can see that, but I don't know whether others are able to see. The audience is able to see or not, I'm not sure. So anyway,
Yes,
guys.
the audience can access that.
Okay, great. So here in question 3, we have a very interesting mix over here, that 20% people say that they have replaced an older but working device. And whereas 46% people say that they have replaced an older but non-working device. Now coming back to our discussion about repairs, of this 46%, even if we were to repair say 30% of them, we still have about a good 15% which are reusable products. And of course the 20% which are working and discarded because they were not suitable for that particular purpose, so that becomes a good 35%. So 1/3 of electronics which has been discarded can be put back into use. That's the clear message that comes out of this. And in the second question and the fourth question, as a user of electronics, 39% people have said that they do not know where to give their e-waste. So Soni sir and Rao sir, you will have to do something to address this, because almost 40% people now, they are saying they don't know where to give their e-waste. So how do we address that? And I think that's something that we need to help them. And there is also another 27% cohort which is concerned about the security. So if you can explain about what you people do as far as security is concerned, that will be very, very helpful for all of them. And then finally, okay, I think we can give the answers to these 2 questions, and then we'll come back to the closing question for both of you.
What is that?
So 2 things I will touch base. For those who are environment conscious and not money conscious, for them, EcoReco has started a Book My Junk mobile application for the city of Mumbai. And we have deployed as many as 7 vehicles on the streets of the city of Mumbai, which goes door to door to collect their e-waste, including even single charger, and we spend 500 to 1,000 rupees on its collection in the city of Mumbai. And this, we are doing it for last 4 years, and we will continue for at least 1% of the Mumbai's population, which is close to about 300,000 people, till we reach to that number. And it's going to cost me a substantial amount of money, maybe 15 to 25 crore rupees over a period of 3 years from now. But there is a personal satisfaction I get for doing that. When we collect such material, we take care of the data is completely destroyed before the person who is giving to us. It's shredded on the spot only, and then only it is taken. So they need not to worry from the point of data destruction or data confidentiality point of view, or even collection. Somebody who's not want to take any step to go out and step up to the collection center or collection bin or recycling center need not to worry. Just log in, avail the business, avail the opportunity available on bookmyjunk.com. I'm not promoting, I'm only talking from the point of view environment conscious people sometimes face a challenge. Then whom should I give? Where should I go and deposit? In city of Mumbai, everybody is busy. Nobody wants to take extra step, extra time or extra efforts for depositing such kind of things. They simply go to the exchange shop, exchange the material, I mean the old devices, maybe a functional or non-functional, but get some discount and pay off the rest for buying a new device. So for them, I'm giving a complete satisfaction, I mean the solution, and they can avail of. Thank you.
Yeah, good question. I think whoever has written that question and the answers given by the younger generation apt. That's the reality. Let's accept that reality. Now, I keep saying the same thing. I keep asking the next generation to ask questions. Now, there are a lot of data, there are a lot of photographs. I usually, when I exchange my mobile phone for a new phone or laptop or desktop or anything for that matter, what I do, I say delete, reset, and then I get going and I give it off and buy a new product per se. I think that all my data is erased. Unfortunately, it is not so. There is so much of information that is stored inside still. Now, it is your information, your data, your private information. You need to be very, 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 very concerned with that information. So, to answer your first question there, where do I dispose it of? How do I dispose it of? The government of India has made a rule that a recycler and a producer, a manufacturer, a brand owner will have to announce some contact numbers. Whichever brand you are using or want to dispose of, you go to their brand websites and ask for e-waste, there will be a contact number available there. You will find they would have announced collection centers also. Similarly, there are so many recyclers. You talk e-waste recyclers and you will find toll-free numbers, you will find collection centers and all that. Now, let us presume that you have identified, you have contacted them, somebody comes to your place and picks it up, and you go and drop it in some place. Chroma, and if you see, they have one small bin outside also. Now, is that enough? Do you think that just by handing it over or dropping it off there, your problem will get resolved? No. You need to ask, you need to demand, saying that I am giving you something where there might be still some information. I need a certificate from you that all my data inside is destroyed, is deleted completely. Otherwise, I will sue you. You should ask the question. If you ask the question, if the other gentleman, the person who's taking it doesn't have an answer, he will not take. If you're giving something free or if you're giving it at a very, very low price, everybody will buy. Maybe they'll repair it and sell it. They will not even they'll not even recycle there. So you need to ask that question. If each one of us keep asking this question, I need a recycling certificate. I need to ask a question to the brand. Tell me what happens. Somebody answer my question. What happens to the product I have given today in this particular place? I need an answer. They will give you an answer. Okay, they will say what? I am sending it to the authorized recycler. The recycler name is published in my website. Ask the question, what happens with that recycler's that product? When you start asking these questions, a lot of answers will start coming out, and all those people who are not doing the right things will start decreasing from the society, and your asset will be safeguarded safely. The data will be deleted, or this hard disk will be shredded, or the entire unit will be shredded, or there are various softwares available out there, the number of wipes that are there, the number of times the wipes are done, the data gets deleted, and there are certificates that will be given by those software companies. These are all international companies. So awareness, knowledge, asking questions are all very, very important. So I request all the young generation to know exactly what happens after your disposal of your own gadget that you're disposing of. So I think asking that you will experience, maybe you can write to all of us saying that your experience that you have faced after asking these questions, and the same can be shared by Recommerce to all you people, all the participants, and it can be a good platform for exchanging such thoughts on the change in habits and awareness or knowledge that we gain by asking these questions. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the elaborate answer. It's quite eye-opening. And let's come to this questions and answers which have not been addressed so far. Some of them have already been addressed in the context of this discussion somewhere or the other. So let me just go through these questions and just put them in front of you. Either one of you can pick it up and answer. So what type of startup do we do on e-waste management? Anybody can probably just try and answer this. What type of startup can we do on e-waste management?
Yeah, that's a good question. Whoever, the boy or the girl, who has asked that question, Very good. Thank you for that. There are various opportunities available under the Government of India initiative, IITs, lot of associations out there who are encouraging startups to come out in the e-waste management industry. There's funding that has been given also. The scope is immense. Educational programs also have been announced towards this. IITs have put in programs. Various universities also have got such programs. So now comes the question, as a startup, what can I do? Startup in e-waste management, what management means what? Management is identifying an asset that you can declare it as an e-waste. For that, you need mobile apps, softwares. That is one scope. B, you can say, trying to send somebody and pick up the product from them and bring it back to wherever that destination that is there. That is another opportunity that is there. As a company, you can start. 3, packaging of the e-waste. Packaging industry, that's another scope that's there. 4, developing mobile apps or various other applications to come out with a value for buying that asset. That is another scope that can be there. 5, once the e-waste is brought in, storage in warehouses, storage mechanisms, storage concepts, different packaging requirements that are there. That's another big area which needs a lot of innovation. It's not there yet. That's another one. Then comes in the material. As a material, understanding the material is very important. When I say material, I am talking of metals and materials. We all know while cooking, all ingredients we put. In the same way, every electronic product has got a composition of metals and materials in parts and components. It gets assembled and is brought into new product. When you dismantle them, each one has got a value for itself. That is another industry which can be created. Skill development, teaching, your writing content. That's another area where there's a scope there. Then finally comes in repairs. Repairs is a very, very big department. Again, there's a scope there. Then comes recycling. Then comes refining. So in the management, there are so many avenues that people can actually pick one of those and become a master. Do not even try to become a master of all these. It is impossible. Pick any one, become a master, then go for the next one. And each one itself, whatever I mentioned, these are all millions of dollars worth industry, not only in India, but globally also. So there's huge opportunities out there for this.
That's a very elaborate and very nice answer. I hope this question has been answered properly. There are related questions again. What is the scope for upcoming startups? I think that question also is addressed by this. And there is one more related question as to how do we start recycling in the short term and move higher? That question also kind of addressed along with this. So then there is one interesting question over here as to in this era of AI and technology, e-waste management, it's e-waste. In how much time would India become e-waste free? To be very honest, I don't think we are aiming to make India e-waste free. We are just trying to make sure that 100% of e-waste is managed properly. So I think that's and one.
Let me add a point to it. AI and technology helps in advancement of electronic products, gadgets, devices in a very, very big way. Welcome. It is very much necessary. But legacy stock, legacy waste is huge. New waste generation is huge. So objective of all of us is stop generating more waste. That is one way of reducing it. Ensuring repairing and refurbishing on use of refurbished products happens. That's the second way. And 3, come out with solutions where this e-waste that is being generated, it can be recycled in a very efficient way. And that is another way, So there's no waste from recycling also. So these three ways are the ones which can actually take a country forward in a much better way and ensure we reduce the e-waste that is being generated on a continuous basis to the minimum, and we be within limits. That's something which we need to aspire and we need to work upon.
Thank you very much, sir. So I think more or less all the questions have been answered in some way or the other. There is one question which I don't know whether we want to answer it separately, but it was already answered, I guess, when you gave that example of repair certifications and all. The question is, we as students are interested in buying second-hand iPhones or MacBooks, but are resistant towards any other products. Is it because we believe Apple build quality is better? The same mentality is not there for repair devices of any other products. Will there be any repair certifications? So, of course, the repair certifications will be there. They will be coming up, like Rao sir also said and Soni sir also said some time back. But yeah, maybe you can just express your views on that, and then I'll request both of you to give your closing remarks or pieces of advice to all of us to follow.
That's a good point. Whoever's asked this question, as I said, that I need peace of mind when I'm spending 1 rupee or 10 rupee or 10,000 rupees. As a human being, it is my right, and I will always think that I'm spending 10,000 rupees. By spending another 10,000 rupees, I will have a lot of peace of mind. I will get with warranty branded product. I will always opt for that. So certification, licensing, these are part and parcel, which I think in the next 6 to 9 months time, it will come in the country also. And brands also will start working towards it. But at the same time, not every repaired product where there is no certificate or it has got a smaller warranty period given by the refurbisher is bad either. It still does its job. It still performs well. Refurbished products, there's a big industry. There are companies, a lot of companies, they use refurbished products. Forget about end users. For your knowledge, I would like to inform that there are thousands and thousands of companies who use refurbished products, electronics in a very, very big way. Servers, radio, medical field, you say, sports field, you take in the tools field, you take electronics, wherever it is. There are many, 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 many companies where use this one. So it is not that as an end user, I'm only using it. Companies also use that. We need to understand that. But we need to change. Change is always tougher. Change is difficult. Change is not easy. And we as Indian citizens and we as next generation needs to keep asking that questions, try finding answers, try working out solutions, and ensure that we become a part of a change movement for the electronics industry in a very big way by participating, by contributing, by innovating, by teaching, by writing, by spreading information, by becoming aware. There are different roles each one of us play, and we need to wear various hats there in adhering to various responsibilities. And once we are able to bring that change, trust me, we as individuals, we will have options. Low-cost options will be available in plenty for us, where we can change units even for every 6 months' time per se. That is something which is going to be favoring each one of us. And how can we bring it? It's only through change. So I believe that the next generation, who are very, very, very smart, and we learn a lot from the younger generation, I'm sure they will be able to bring out the change. And wish you all good luck in bringing in this particular change also. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Soni sir, one question that I think you can answer. In fact, you did answer in some way when you talked about your app and all. But there is a question over here that when we give away our e-waste to a recycler, what about its monetary aspect? Do we need to pay the recycler, or will the recycler pay us? Is it standardized? Soni sir, up to you. Soni sir, you are not audible. Yeah. So we asked the question. There was a question in the Q&A box. When we give away our e-waste to a recycler, what about its monetary aspect? Do we need to pay the recycler, or will the recycler pay us? Is it standardized? Can you answer that question, sir?
Is it for me?
Yeah, it's for you. Because you already mentioned in some way when you talked about the app.
Correct. No, since I was not online for a few minutes, so I didn't know the background. So, okay, if it is for me and question I have understood, as far as the individual collection is concerned, our objective is very simple. We want to cultivate the habit of environment-friendly disposal. So neither we charge nor we pay, irrespective of anything people give. And believe me or not, we have served 3,000 families in the city of Mumbai so far, and nobody has asked for. Although it cost me higher than what the value I get, maybe 10 to 20% only value we get, but we are very comfortable with that loss. So we will continue to provide that service, and I will be happy that if somebody takes a lead in different cities, Eco will be happy, or Book My Junk will be happy to provide that assistance to them. But it's a cost. It's a cost to them. It's a cost to them. Somebody should be ready to burn money. It's not a startup of that nature. There is a funding. There is no funding going from, except if they can mobilize the funds from somewhere, it's their fortune. I could not mobilize yet.
Let me also answer that, Bhuji. If you go and do a Google search for a company called recycledevice.com, and where you are able to sell your mobile phone, sell your laptop, e-waste also you can sell there. It is our own company. You can do a Google search, you can download the app, you can do testing of your laptops and mobile phones live, and immediately a value pops up, and including for e-waste also there is a value that comes in. I would encourage, and somewhere in 15,000 pin codes in the country we are servicing currently, and we have picked up tons and tons and thousands of units, but it is only available for laptops and mobile phones currently. For other product categories we will be introducing very soon.
Thank you very much, sir.
That's a greater, I mean, I must say, the topping on the pizza from Mr. Rao, that he is offering the value. We are expecting only dead assets. We are not expecting any working assets, and therefore we are encouraging. So it's a very different model. Mr. Rao is dealing with the lives. I am dealing with the dead bodies.
Okay, so thank you very much, both of you. It has been a wonderful session. It got a lot of takeaways from this. I'm sure all the students and everybody else who is attending this got something or the other to take away from here. So thank you very much for attending. And just on a closing note, to all the students over here, at Recommerce, we are doing a lot of things for encouraging skill development and awareness within the student community, because we definitely believe that recycling is a sector that will grow, not just e-waste, but for all other types of waste, like Mr. Sanjay Kumar also said some time back, and everybody over here you would have heard talked about urban mining, etc. The research has clearly proven that urban mining or resource recovery is going to be the biggest industry worldwide. There's no doubt about that. India is home to 1/6 of the world's population. Obviously, our waste is also going to be significantly large. So whatever we treat as waste today, if that can be converted into a resource, there is no stopping us from not only becoming a $5 trillion economy, but also surpassing it in very near future, right? So Recommerce will be very soon launching a skill development program, and just keep in touch with us for further updates on this. And with that, thank you all very much, and hand it over back to Venkat.
Hello. Thank you, sir. Thank you for time. Thank you, BK Soni, sir. Thank you, Amar Singh, sir. Thank you, Prabhu, sir. Thank you, Rao, sir, for being there, patiently listening to the students' question and also answering them. I know how busy your schedules are. because I work very closely with you. So I know each one of you making time, and especially for something which will add value for the generations ahead. I understand, I see that through your talks and through the way you are address the students, the passion for how to take this industry further, because these are the one who will be the leaders tomorrow. So with your decades of work, the transformation should go into the right hands. So the entire objective of the event is kind of met by having both of you here and addressing the students, is what we understand. So we'll move further, sir. Thank you, and thank you being part of it. We'll see you soon again.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to
Thank you,
speak
sir.
today.
Thank you. So next, we will be having our eminent partner for this event partner, Huladek. We'll be having the founder who will be addressing all of us. Mr. Nandan Mal, he's the young entrepreneur who started this journey from his legacy from the legacy and transformed the way and new approaches he has added to entire ecosystem. He is spreading out his business pan-India, and he will be an effective partner for you to help you understand the right way to dispose things, how to dispose things, and how to make value out of it. And he will be assisting each of the institutions in terms of doing a larger drive and make a larger collection in this entire program and give a tangible value for what we have learned. We have learned immensely from speakers. Now it is about action. And that is where we are. We are talking about behavioral change. Acting is what makes us all change. So we would like students to listen and the institutions to listen carefully from Mr. Nandan Mal in terms of how he can help you in terms of collecting all these materials.
But before Nandan starts, I want to make a small point over here.
Yes.
Nandan has delivered such a wonderful communication in your Recommerce in Bangalore last. It was very, very encouraging and very practical. Point number one. And thank you so much for sponsoring this event and giving us an opportunity to come on board and talk about our experiences.
Yes.
Thank you, Nandan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Soni Saab. Always wonderful to hear from you, and under your guidance, I'm happy to continue to do this work. So, over to the students. Hi, guys. My name is Nandan Mal, and I run an organization called Huladek Recycling. We've been working for the last 10 years in the e-waste management space, and today I'm here to share a little bit about how you can be a part of things. There is a slide shared. Venkat, can you just confirm if it's visible?
Yes, it's visible. It's visible.
Perfect. Okay. So I'll take about 20 minutes of your time, guys, and I hope to help you out understand better. So you heard about the problems with e-waste. You heard about the challenges. You heard, how the industry has also grown in the last couple of years, and what the way forward is. And we are all very excited as part of the industry to take it forward. So just giving you a little bit of an inside scoop, right? So these are broadly the issues with e-waste. India is the third largest producer of e-waste after US and China globally. On an average, there's an increase of 20% in terms of e-waste generation every year. And as per recent data, we are managing to recycle about 5% of total e-waste that is being generated in the country. And about 30 to 40% of all precious metals mined or utilized in India are towards electronics. And of course, there is an informal sector that we all spoke about, Kavadiwalas, which also have a major contribution to pollution. So as per the new rules, these are the 7 categories of electrical and electronic waste. So if you want to know that what is e-waste and whether it needs to be recycled or does not need to be recycled, these are the broad 7 categories. You have IT and telecom equipment such as printers, laptops, desktops, monitors, computers, etc., UPS, etc. You have consumer electronics and electrical such as air conditioners, radio, TV, fan, even solar panels or photovoltaic panels have been included in e-waste from this year onwards. So that's a very interesting time. Then you have large and small electrical and electronic equipment. You have these deep freezers in which you keep your ice cream. You have these cookers. You have vacuum cleaners, lawn mowers. You even have DVD and VCR players, stuff like that. You have electric and electronic tools such as a sewing machine, drill, lawnmower, and various other tools that are used, welding devices, welding machines, etc. You have toys, leisure, and sports equipment, right? Equipment such as train sets, all your PlayStations, all your Xboxes, all your Lego, all your, the fun school games such as your GI Joes and your Hot Wheels and all of that. And toys, leisure, and sports equipment also includes gym equipment, right? Gym equipment is also included in this in electronic waste. Then you have medical devices from your basic monitors such as your BP check monitor to your blood pressure and all of that, right? All of these are included in e-waste. And lastly, lab instruments that are used in your laboratories for testing and analysis purposes. So these are the 7 broad categories of e-waste as per the new rules, right? A total of 106 item codes and a total of 134 unique items have been included in e-waste. So the scope is tremendous. So we've spoken about the problems. Let's talk about the solution and how can you as a community or as an individual citizen be a part of the solution, right? So, India is currently, we are in a linear economy, right? A linear economy is essentially an economy which is take, make, use and waste. And we are moving towards a recycling economy where we are promoting recycling. We've been speaking about this all day, where we take, make, use, recycle, again make, again use, again recycle until it becomes waste. But the goal, ultimate goal, which the government also wants by 2030 and all of us here also want, is that we want to become a circular economy where we can take, make, not only recycle, but also return, reuse, repair, etc. Right? So the idea is, of course, you as the future decision makers of the country have to lead us in this transition. We've already managed to come into a recycling economy. We want to now move towards a circular economy, right? And we need you as the young people of our country to definitely be a part of this and definitely help us in becoming a circular economy. So how can you do that? The first process is, of course, awareness. That's why we're all here today, right? We need to create awareness. Knowledge is key. We need to learn, practice, and preach. It's never too late to learn, as we all say, right? And spread awareness. Tell people about waste management. Tell people about what are the issues with electronic waste recycling, why it needs to be recycled in a proper manner as compared to giving it to an informal sector scrap dealer. Next, of course, is please dispose your waste with a formal recycler. The recycling industry has been defined very, very well. Now there are registrations happening on the portal. You can just simply log into one portal and you will get the list of all the authorized recyclers that are currently registered in the country, which state they are in, how much recycling capacity they have, what are the items they can accept, everything. It's become very, very transparent, and you should definitely ensure that your waste is going to a formal recycler, either through their collection center or through a take back scheme that they have, or like a collection drive that we are going to be doing right now in all your colleges. You need to ask these questions. I'm sure Mr. Rao was speaking about how the youth need to ask questions. So definitely ask these questions and dispose of your waste and make sure it ends up in the hands of a formal recycler. Install an e-waste bin, right? We've heard about gila kachra, sukha kachra. We've heard about wet waste, dry waste, right? But most of us are not aware that e-waste also requires a separate bin, So set up e-waste bins for collection and proper segregation of the waste at your schools, at your colleges, at your residential complexes, or even in your community centers, right? We as an organization would be very happy to partner and in setting up these bins and doing our bit. So set up a bin so that people are aware, people know to segregate their electronic waste and dispose it off here in a proper manner in a segregated bin. Help in formalizing the informal sector. We've been listening about how kabadiwalas have been working, and yes, we have to understand the fact that their collection network is one of the strongest, right? They still are an integral part of the waste management process. So we need to formalize them We need to engage with them, explain to them what are the issues with electronic waste management, how the practices or the techniques that they are using are improper. It causes health issues to them. It causes environmental issues also for the society at large. And therefore, we help them in formalizing their processes, introduce the using of personal protective equipment, introduce proper SOPs and guidelines for storage of material, ensure that material does not get leaked from the storage site for informal processing and stuff like that. So that is also something as a project, definitely we all can do as a college or even as an organization. Lastly, of course, speaking about the policy framework, because yes, these are community actions that we can take, but the policy from the government of India is also very robust and very nice. So we need to understand that, there is a concept called polluter pays principle. We've been speaking about EPR since the morning, or extended producer responsibility. So polluter pays principle is the so-called inspiration behind the concept of EPR, wherein the one who pollutes the environment through the manufacturing of electronic and electrical devices in cell is responsible for the recycling of it. And hence EPR was born, or extended producer responsibility was born. And a major focus on EPR from the government this year onwards is on awareness creation, is on community action, is on ensuring that the general public gets involved in the process of e-waste management and are aware about A, what are the harms, B, what are the solutions, and C, what are the questions or the audits that they need to do to ensure that their waste is ending up in the right place. So this is just a cycle of how the e-waste management rules now are going to function, right? If you look at from the right top, you will see that a product is manufactured, right, by a manufacturer, and it is given to a producer or a brand owner, right? The producer or a brand owner then in turn, sells the material to the consumer. The consumer uses the electronic, watches wonderful videos on their phones, does great work on their laptops, makes multiple projects on their desktop. And once that electronic device is consumed, it generates waste, right? The waste, once generated, is collected back through organizations like ourselves, and then it is channelized for recycling or repair and reuse. We even spoke about repairing and reusing. So either recycling, that is breaking it down to its raw form or its original form, right? And repairing or reuse to extend the life of the electronic, what we commonly call second hand, and can be continued to be used by a different strata of society. So that's how the cycle continues, right? And that's how the cycle in recycle is what we refer to. So let's speak about some emerging organizations. Of course, recycling in India is a market in transition from informal to formal. Why I'm putting this slide is because a lot of you are going to be passing out soon, and you might have entrepreneurial favor in yourself, and you might feel like becoming a businessman or businesswoman and getting into the waste management industry. So yes, there are a lot of good examples here, and I'm sure you can also be a part of these emerging organizations. It is one of the fastest growing industries. The year-on-year growth in waste management business is massive. I'm sure Mr. Rao, BK Soni sir, all of us will agree that, when we talk about growth in our industry, we don't talk about in percentages, we talk about in X. What I mean by that is we say that, okay, how many X did your collection or your recycling grow from previous year? If you were doing 1,000 metric tons this year, did you do 2,000 next year or 3,000? Did you do a 2x growth or a 3x growth or a 4x growth? That's how we speak. It's not about 10% or 50% or 80%. So that's one of our fastest growing industries in our country. Of course, it's creating employment opportunities for several individuals, and it's great to be an employer. Trust me, I am an employer of about 100 people, directly and indirectly, and I know it's a great feeling right? So you create more employment opportunities. With increasing awareness, of course, waste management organizations are also attracting a lot of investors. Sustainability space, and specifically as a part of sustainability in green initiatives, waste management is the next big thing as far as startups is concerned. A lot of investment, both foreign and national, is being attracted by this space. So if you decide to enter this space as a business person or as an employee, the future definitely is bright. And lastly, the government is continuously supporting and encouraging the growth of these companies. I'm sure a lot of our eminent speakers before me covered the government initiatives and how it is being ensured that the material should be properly recycled, and whatever support in terms of regulation, in terms of policy, in terms of subsidies, grants, etc., are all being made available by the government. So as a new business also, definitely it is something that you might be keen on. Speaking about Hula Tech, we were incorporated in 2015. This is our 10th year of operation. We work in about 20 states across the country, and we have successfully recycled not 4 but 5 million kgs of e-waste last year. We just crossed that figure, so we've changed that. And of course, our tagline is "Hungry for Waste," which shows our insatiable hunger for waste. There's also a pun on the word hungry. If any Shakespeare fans in the audience, you'll understand the value of a pun, right? So hungry as in the country hungry, and hungry as in bhook lagi hai for waste. These are the services that we are offering, right? Collection and channelization of e-waste, something we're doing as a partner for this collection drive from all the colleges that are going to be collecting the e-waste. Of course, we also help with data destruction. It is very, very important because data needs to be destroyed from any hard drive before it enters the recycling process. So we help with that as well. We help in fulfilling EPR compliances for e-waste, battery, and plastic waste, something that I will be happy to partner with all the organizations here as well with. Of course, we help them in providing COR and Form 6 to all the bulk consumers and assisting corporates in conducting CSR activities. And these are just a glimpse of a few brands that work with us and ask us to manage their electronic waste. This is the impact we had last year. We reached more than 30 million plus people, installed 150 plus bins across the country, did over 300 plus awareness sessions. Currently, we have about 45 collection points in 20 states across the country. 30 were added last year itself. More than 10,000 households were reached who gave their electronic waste to us, and we did about 1,200 collection drives in the country, and we're happy to add 100 more from all you colleges in this campaign as well. This is a projection we had made that we want to reach the figure of 50,000 tons with the support of all our recycling partners by 2025. And lastly, I would just like you to take a pledge that Sabko Batao, e-waste Ghatao. That's what we say, as in Sabko ई-वेस्ट की गलत चीजों या उसकी hazard के बारे में बताओ और ई-वेस्ट की गलत recycling को घटाओ. That's what we try to say. So take this pledge, and over the course of the next 3 days, and you're going to be actively participating in the collection drives. Take my permission to use this slogan wherever you like. It's catchy, it's nice, people like it. So sabko batao, e-waste ghatao. That's what we say. And that's it from my side. I have a small video just to share with you all to explain how we do these collection drives. So just give me 1 minute and I will be sharing that video soon. So we recently conducted a collection drive with the Lions Club, similar to what you all are doing. This just a small video showing how the collection drive went and how we did it. So as you saw, material is coming quite a mixed form. It is segregated. It is weighed separately. Sheets are prepared to understand what material has been received. It's countersigned by the organization. In your case, it will be the college, and that's how the work is done. I'll also share one more video which talks about setting up of waste bins and building community collection centers. So we did one with the German consulate here in Kolkata. So I'm just sharing a short video about that, and we'll be happy to do the same in your colleges on a permanent basis. Awesome. So that was Manfred Auster. He was the Consul General for the German consulate here. He was kind enough to work with us on this. I'll be happy to take any questions if there are any, and then we can wrap it up. Thank you so much.
It's a question for Nandan Moll, asking him to tell new startup ideas in 2023 for e-waste management.
Startup ideas. I think
sir told you like step by step what all possible initiatives you can take. Anyway, Nandan, they want to hear from you.
So I think I already covered that in the presentation. Multiple options are there. You can set up a collection center to begin with, because in waste management it's crucial to understand the material first, right? Because unless and until you understand quality of material, you will not know how to price it, and unless you know how to price it, chances of collection is quite minimum. So start off with starting a collection center, associate with any recycler, or any producer. There are so many who will be happy to support your initiative and collect the material from you. And once you have the collection mechanism in place, you can definitely think of investing and becoming a recycler on your own. So yeah, that's the first step we suggest to anyone who might be interested in entering the industry.
I think that's the only question, Nandan. You want to add anything as a closing remarks?
Let me just check it.
Any more questions you have specifically for Mr. Nandan? You can please post them.
I think 2 or 3 people have raised their hands if they want to say something.
I think they are raising from long time. It's like hour ago what they've raised.
Okay. Irrelevant then. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Nandan. Thanks for the time. Thank you, Uladek, also for continuously being part of all the Recommerce initiatives and actively working with us and believing in the vision of building community together. So we thank for supporting this event as a primary sponsor, and also taking the lead further in terms of effectively collecting and also helping them how to collect and train them how to collect, and in terms of giving the right certificates to them. That's what we are looking forward. Further, I would like to tell all the students, the professors and other administrative heads from the institutions that team from Recommerce and Nandan's office will be coordinating in terms of assisting for the collections on a daily basis, and they'll help you out how to proceed further. Having said all these things, I would also put up some points from Recommerce. Recommerce is a brand which is working very closely with all the recyclers in terms of bringing them together under one one forum through our events, conferences, exhibitions, and trade fairs. So that's the point where we are trying to do, and we are also trying to develop a lot of content in terms of understanding what is happening globally and submitting those reports to the central governments and state governments. We are also coming up with a lot of awareness programs, training programs, as well as skill development programs, which we are working with currently government of Karnataka, and further we would like to proceed further in other states. For students who want directly to enroll on our live workshop, there's a 5 days live workshop which we conduct, where we'll give an hands-on experience on waste management like battery, e-waste, automotive, and textile. So where you will be trained completely on what is the policy framework, how can you start the business, what are the requirements for starting the business. It will be an in-depth training. I request Amal, if you can show the video before we sign up. And it's a small snippet. You can further reach our team. You can stay connected. You have any questions, you can stay. And also for the institution, if you want to host any institution level programs, we are open to work and assist you further. You can reach to the team members of ours who are in touch with you. We'll assist further. And further, I thank all our speakers, dignitaries who are part of the event, who are out of their busy schedules and made sure that something value is driven on an International E-Waste Day, rather than just putting up a social media post or just doing something, sending out a greeting message. We have tried to do something which is unique in terms of reaching out to the institutions and asking them to do something on ground. Whatever is collected will be reported in a proper way and submitted to the ministry. We would like all the institutions to work on grounds in terms of experiencing these collections, to understand how this mechanism works. And it is very important we leave a safer environment for the generations which we transform and want them to dwell, because we see our ancestors have left a very good environment for us. But what we have done in the last 3 decades is the kind of pollutant atmosphere which we have created. But we are also responsible to give transit this to the next generation, a very cleaner and a greener space to dwell and live. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for making time, and thank you for being part. See you soon again at another initiative of ours. Thank you.